Welcome back. This is Captain Ron with you here today. Beautiful day here at Searcy. Today I'd like to demonstrate a soft field takeoff in a crosswind and a full stop landing in a crosswind. First thing you want to consider before you enter on the runway is you want to check your traffic, you want to stop, you want to look, and you want to listen to your radio. A lot of airports don't require radio. Uncontrolled airports don't require radio. And there are aircraft out there that do not have an electrical system. So just because you make a call that you're taxiing in position and holding, that doesn't mean you're clear. You have to look. Okay, today we're clear. I'll make my call. Searcy traffic, gyroplane lining up, waiting, 01 Searcy. Runway incursions, you have to be very careful. We're going to talk about the coordination between rudder and cyclic in a crosswind. And keep in mind your nose wheels is connected mechanically to your rudders. So when you move the rudder, the nose wheel turns either right or left. Very important that you do not allow your nose wheel after landing, touching down. Keep your ground speed slow until you come to almost a stop, and then the aircraft will lower the nose wheel by itself. Okay, the famous...
Traffic 5766, you're taxiing to runway 19 for a departure.
Alright, we're going to do the famous first takeoff. Going to pre-rotate mechanically. Always want to take your time on your first takeoff. We'll go up to 225 RPM on the rotor. Alright, release, cyclic back centered. We got a crosswind from our right side. As you can notice, the yaw string is to the left. So I usually wait till the aircraft becomes light. I know what it needs for input. Little right cyclic, left rudder, down the center line. And we'll climb out at the recommended best rate of climb. And this aircraft, it's 60 miles an hour. Yeah, crosswind landings to a full stop. They're subjected to a few more problems. You know, when you're coming in on final, you want to use your rudder to keep the aircraft parallel to the runway, and your cyclic to control for drift. You don't want to drift to left or right. So when you come to a full stop, you want to, after your main wheels touch for landing, you want to hold that nose wheel off the ground. It doesn't have to be high, but it needs to be off the ground. Because, don't forget, you're in a crosswind, you got rudder input, the nose wheel is crooked. If you allow the nose wheel to touch the ground at a high ground speed, then it could upset your whole day. Searcy traffic, gyroplane left downwind for 01 Searcy.
Traffic, Foxtrot Charlie is 5 miles south of the field at 1,900 feet. Making a straight approach for runway 1. We'll be looking for the Gyrocopter.
Yeah, gyroplane, give me a heads up on the 2-mile final, please.
We'll advise 2-mile final. 72 Foxtrot Charlie.
So you don't want to allow your nose wheel to touch even on takeoff. even without crosswind, because the torque of the engine is going to require you to put in some rudder. Depending on the rotation of the propeller, it might be right rudder, might be left rudder. But the point is, the nose wheel is going to follow your rudder input. And as long as you got slow ground speed, it's not a problem. But you want to make sure on landing, after you touch down on the May wheels, maintain a little nose up, even if you have to add a little power. Keep the nose off until your ground speed is at a minimum. Foxtrot Charlie on final. What's your distance out?
Currently 3.5 from the field, still looking for it.
Okay, Gyroplane. I'm going to circle out here and wait for you.
Traffic.
Okay, there's another airplane on final, and what I plan on demonstrating, I won't have time at this moment, so I'm going to allow him to go first, land, and I'll be second to land after him.
Charlie, he's still on downwind, sir. He's on phase right. Roger, thank you.
I'll just do a 360 here. Good time to check the traffic all around you.
He's circling west of the field. Gyro circling west of the field. Downwind. Hey, Dick. Thirsty traffic 5766 Victor's on runway 1. Departure and runway 19 waiting to depart. Roger, we have you inside. We're on a 1 mile final now.
Thursday traffic Gyroplane. We'll be number 2 for landing, but we will wait for the departing aircraft to depart. I'll say we got the one aircraft on final. About 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you can see it now.
Arrow 33759er, extended downwind for 19, waiting for departure on 19 and falling behind him. Searching.
And then we got a...
Charlie, short final for runway 1. We're looking for traffic.
And then we also have an aircraft waiting to depart.
Chuck, copy that. 759er. Yes, Arrow is an extended downwind for 19. We've got landing traffic runway 1 and departing traffic on runway 19. Roger, I'm falling in behind the departing traffic on 19. Searching.
Thursday traffic, yellow Gyroplane, close in left base for short final number 2 for landing on 01.
Downwind runway 7.
Okay, we're going to get it set up for the landing. And you want to make sure we're going to do a full stop. Actually, we're going to do an abort. Because there's an airplane. I don't know why he wants to take off on the opposite runway, but that generally occurs, so you want to be careful of that. All right, we're going to set up on final. Get our speed going. You can see the yaw string off to the left, so I've got to put some right cyclic. Now, you don't want to drift off to the right like this. You don't want to drift off to the left. And if you make a bad approach, you need to do a go-around, and that's what we're going to demonstrate. See, for some reason, you just can't seem to get the rudders coordinated with the cyclic.
Foxtrot Charlie is clear, runway 1 at Foxtrot. We'll be taxiing back.
And the rudders are like a weather vane. They're not going to move you over. They're just going to point in a different direction. So if you get into this scenario where you can't get settled down and you get uncomfortable, get stressed out, just add power and do a go-around. Thursday traffic, Gyroplane doing a go-around on 130. That way, takeoff and landings require a lot of multitasking, a lot of judgment, and you're real busy, especially in a crosswind. And your pattern work is kind of like a rest period. On downwind, you can relax, gather your thoughts together and get it figured out what you need to do. Because every missed approach or bad approach you make, it just, your stress mounts up and you start making a lot of mistakes. So you would try to avoid that situation. Sometimes you might return to your home airport and the wind isn't very friendly with you. It may be gusty, it may be cross. So you have to deal with those situations. Get plenty of practice with your instructor. Any of these maneuvers, especially after waiting all winter, a long period of time, and you haven't flown, it's best to get some more instructions just to get comfortable. Searching traffic. Gyroplane left downwind for 1, and we have the departure aircraft on 1930. See, we got an airplane used 19. I don't know why they do that. Want to be courteous. You want to be courteous and yield the right of way. Highway rages.
Roger. I'm on short final now. 759 or searching.
Searching traffic, short final. What runway?
19, searching.
Well, I'm on, I'll extend my downwind for 1. See, here's another scenario. You got a guy on final for the opposite runway I want to land on, which favors 01 is my runway, and the wind favors that runway. So you just have to be aware of all these situations. Searching traffic, landing on 19. Is this going to be a go around or full stop?
Full stop, searching.
All right, it's going to be a full stop, so I can demonstrate a full stop landing. Now, some of the problems you run into with a full stop landing, like I said earlier, it's got a little more potential for problems. The fact is, it takes longer to come to a full stop.
5766 is departing at northwest.
We'll have to abort here.
759 is clear. Cersei at Alpha.
Searching traffic. Gyroplane is going on short final for 1. This will be a full stop. Okay, like I said earlier,
Short wait for you.
full stop landings require a little more time to come to a full stop. And once your main wheels touch the ground, then you've taken all the load off of the rotor blades. So naturally, the rotor blades are going to start slowing down naturally. So if you just kind of, after you land, you may have a conversation going with another traffic or your passenger, you got to be careful on that takeoff, because you'll be set up for flapping your rotor blades. Okay, we got a crosswind from our right. I got right cyclic, left rudder. Now, when you put these controls inputs in, you got to keep them in. You just don't press on the rudder and relax your foot. You got to hold that rudder. You got to hold that cyclic. What I like to do is, see, you got a pretty good crosswind here. I like to add a little power and do a soft field landing. That allows my nose to come up a little more. My ground speed is getting slower. And I'm just letting it settle in. Use the power, a lot of power. There we go. Now I got to keep the nose off because the rudder's crooked. Well, boom, there we go. Forward on the cyclic. Now I got the cyclic pointed into the wind, which is on my right side because of the crosswind. Searching traffic. Gyroplane is clear the runway.
Traffic. 93520, takeoff 19, search traffic.
Always move the Cyclic according to the wind direction when you're changing directions on the ground. Right now the wind's pretty much in my face, so the Cyclic is all the way forward and centered. Okay, appreciate it. Thanks for flying with us.